So I guess there's no other way to start than just start. But I guess the first place to start is to be absolutely honest with myself. Why am I doing this? Why have I decided a podcast? And it's just from so much. So almost 14 years of being involved in Centonomy, 10 years actively running it, and the last over 3 years not being quite in it, but observing it, pitching in, trying to lead, trying to give it direction, watching myself confused. I'm observing in life what people really thirst for is authenticity in the story. And so this podcast was for me to tell the story. And the story, yes, is my experience. The story is, yes, people who have worked with me, my team, my customers, and what has happened to them in this time. But the story is also my observations in this time. It's also an ability for me to reflect, because sometimes I just didn't get the chance to reflect what has happened. A lot of things I have written down privately in my journal. The way I think about even money, the way I think about business it's so different from when I started, because I have the benefit of hindsight and I want to bring it out. Why is this podcast called Making Sense Conversations? Because I think when I started Centonomy, it culminated in a book, my first book called Making Sense. First book because it's not going to be the last. And without knowing it, it became a storybook as well as a book that talks about money in my voice. It's a lot of articles I wrote that were in my voice, and a lot of analogies, a lot of just the way the voice in my head simply works, and I put it out there. So you'll hear my voice happy, you'll hear it sad, you'll hear other people who are willing to bring their voice. Sharing of stories of people who are like you. A lot of stories through money, through business, through our relationships with money. A lot of stories to teach you, to inspire you, but most of all, a lot of stories to make you feel connected. The message with this podcast is for you to remember you are not alone. There's too much going out into the world and thinking you are alone. You're in debt alone. You're struggling with business alone. Your employees are leaving you alone. You're in a marriage and you're struggling with financial issues and you're alone. There's a secret that has made certain things work in your favor. Imagine if we all shared our secrets, yeah? I'll start with mine. What's my secret? The ability to take a step back, be alone, and to think. Just to think. Not read, study, take a degree, etc., etc., etc. Join us, subscribe, follow us. You'll be getting this podcast once a week. And please engage with us and tell us what else you'd like to hear, because, I'm not going to hold back. Since I don't have to be in front of a camera, I'm not going to hold back. So if you tell me talk about something, I'll talk about something, because I do love having conversations. I started my business by having conversations.